I think in the last lecture we have started to do the discussion on we can say server controls, standard server controls, right? So we have seen in the ASP.NET there are many different type of controls are available. The first control, that is a standard control. Then we can say standard control that includes small control, like a label is there, literal control is there, button is there, right, text box is there, and so on, right? Then we have the validation control. So if you are designing a form and if you want to validate the data which is entered by the user, so in that case there are total 6 validation controls are there in the ASP.NET, and that we can use for a validation purpose. Some controls are reach into the functionality. For example, calendar control is there, rotating banner advertisement, multi-step wizard, we can say file upload control, right? So these controls are we reach into the functionality, so we are calling that control as a reach controls, right? Few controls which is available in the ASP.NET which will help you if you want to bring the data from the database. So here form view control is there, data list control is there, grid view control is there, navigation control, for example let tree view control, right, menus, right? So if you want to allow user so that he or she can navigate from one page to another page, so navigation controls are used. For login and security purpose we have few login controls, right, web part control and HTML control. In fact this is not a server side control, right, this is a simple HTML controls. Fine. So we have started with the label control, and we have seen whenever we want to change the text dynamically, then we need to use a label control. For example, label1.text is equal to datetime.now.toString, right? So whenever, if you have written suppose this code on the click event of the button, whenever user is clicking on the button, it will fetch the date and time from the server, and it will be displayed into the label. So at runtime, if you want to change the text, you can use a label control. Then we have seen different properties of the label control. These are the very basic property we have discussed in last session. ID is there, foreground color, that is the color of the text, background color, so back color property is there. Then a few properties which is related to the border, so border color or border width or border style, right? So if you want to set border surrounding to your label, in that case you can use these three different property. Tooltip property, obviously it is showing a pop-up at the runtime whenever the user is moving his or her mouse to the label, right? Then visible property is there, run at property, height and width, right? So these all properties we have seen in the last lecture. Not only that, in the last lecture we have also focused on CSS class property. So how can we create either internal style sheet or external style sheet, and we can apply the formatting which is returned in a particular class to the label directly by setting of only one property, right? So here let my class name is a LBL style or label style. So suppose if you have a label, and if you write or set only one property, right, that is called CSS class property, right? So you just need to write what CSS class is equal to, right, and then in the double quotation mark you just have to write label style. So here label style you write, right, and only one property if you are setting, right, then automatically your labels background color will be set to yellow, its font color will be set to red, and border will be of solid style with 2 pixel of thickness, and the border color will be a red, right? So rather than setting an individual property, what you need to do is you just set only one property, that is a CSS class, and inside that class whatever attribute you have set it, that every attribute you can get it into your label. Fine. Then we have seen the use of associated control ID property. So we have seen the example. Let's suppose if we have label and text box, what we have done is we have set an associated control ID property for the label to the text box 1, text box 2, and so on. And whenever user is clicking on a particular label, the focus gets shifted to the corresponding text box, right? Suppose if you are clicking on a label 2, so the focus get automatically shifted to the text box 2, and so on. Fine. Then we have seen one more property, that is called enable view state property. What is the use of enable view state property? We have done a detailed discussion on it in the last session. I have shown what actually the view state is and how can we use enable view state property for the label. Fine. Now one more control that we are discussing today, that is called the literal control, right? Many times in the university exam they have asked or examiner has asked this question: write a short note on a literal control, or what is literal control, explain it. It's a very small control is there, and this control is similar to the label, but this control is a lightweight control, and this is having a very few functionality, right? So let's suppose if we are talking about a label, so in the label what we have is in the label we have a lot of properties, right? ID is there, forecolor is there, back color, border style, tooltip, visible, CSS class, enable view state, associated control ID property. So there are so many properties are there of the label, but here in the case of literal control, very few properties are there. Usually when we are taking a label control into a web page, it will be rendered into the span tag. That's we know in the process of like what is rendering process. When we have discussed that thing, I have shown we have placed a label, and then when we are running that page into the Internet Explorer, and if we are going into the view source, we have seen that label control gets automatically rendered into the span tag, right? But here in the case of literal, it is not done, right? So how the literal control is working, how many properties are there, why we are calling this literal control as a lightweight control? Fine. So we are just getting answer of all this question, right? So let me go to Visual Studio, right? And here I'm just creating a new website for you. So file, new, and say website. This is an empty website, right? And in that empty website we are just adding a web page, right? So I'm just adding a web page. This is a default.aspx, right? Now suppose in this particular web page, I'll just show you how can we take a label control and how the label control gets rendered, right? So I have placed a label control, so this is something like this, and here I'm just writing hello into the label. If you are running this particular page into the Internet Explorer, and if you are going ahead with a source code of that web page, right? So here if we go ahead in a source view and source, right? So this label in which we have written hello, that gets rendered into the span tag. It is something like this. See, span ID label 1, and then hello, then completion of the span tag. Okay, fine. So we know that the label is rendered into the which tag? Span tag, right? It's like this. Okay, fine. Now what I'm doing is I am just removing a label, right, from this web page, and instead of that I'm just putting a literal control. But before doing this, you just check it out how many properties that that label control holds. So there are so many different properties are there: back color, border style, border width, CSS class, font, forecolor, text, right? So there are so many properties are there which label control holds. Now I'm just deleting this label control, and instead of that I'm just putting a literal control. So this is something. Where is literal control? Yes, it is here, right? So this is a literal control, and you just gone through a property window. Here, text property is there. So let's suppose if I want to write hello, so I will just type into the text property, and then here how many other properties are there. So client ID mode is there, enable view state property is there, mode property is there, view state mode is there, visible is there, ID is there. That's it, right? So no forecolor, no back color, no border color, border style, right? So because of this literal control is having very limited functionality, what we can say is this is a lightweight control. Right now I'll just run this particular page into the Internet Explorer and we'll see what is there in view source. Right, so you just run this particular page. So browse with Internet Explorer, and oh no, so browse with Internet Explorer, and let if you open, so press Ctrl and U. Right, so here see there is no span tag is there. Right, what is the tags we have, what is the tags that is we have placed in the literal control? Hello. So directly the server is throwing a hello world, right, or hello into the we can say your web page. So basically when we are taking a label control that gets rendered, hello world will be encased in the span tag. But in the case of literal control, if the text property of the literal you have set it to hello, then hello server is directly throwing a string hello to the browser. Right, there is no span tag is there. Okay, fine. So now suppose in the text property of this hello, right, instead of this we can say hello, let if you type say HR slash, suppose if you have returned something like this, right, in the text you have returned HR then slash, and suppose if you are running this page into the browser, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, in that case here you are getting a line, right, horizontal rule line is there. Okay, that is because of the server has directly given what HR slash, right. So here let if we press Ctrl U, right, so in that case the server has directly given this HR slash, right, less than HR slash. The HR tag is given by the server to the browser, and you know that the browser understands HTML language very well, and the meaning of this tag is drawing a horizontal line, right. So the browser is understanding that here I need to draw the horizontal line, right. Suppose if you want to write HR here, right, in that case what you need to do, so there is one property is there that you need to set, right, and that is called mode, that is equal to we can say encode, right. So here I have set the property, right, that is mode is equal to encode, and now if you run this page in any browser, whether it is Internet Explorer or it is Google Chrome, right, here HR is there, right. So now we have the question, right, કે સર્વર એવું તે શું બ્રાઉઝરને આપ્યું હશે so that the browser is printing this HR slash rather than drawing a horizontal rule. Fine, so to understand this particular thing, I am just going into the view source, and you just see here the server has given this thing. Instead of that less than sign, the server has given what? And %LT semicolon. And instead of that greater than sign, the server has given and %GT semicolon, right. And due to that reason the browser understand here I need to print HR in this way, right, not I have to do a horizontal ruler line. Fine, so this is something about we can say literal control. It's a very small control is there. One property mode, second property is text. Now suppose if you think, okay, sir, can we change the text of this literal control dynamically? So obviously yes, right? How it is, let I'm just erasing all this thing, right? Just text we are writing, say hello, and this mode property I'm just removing it, right? So now what we are doing is, here we are just placing after this we can say literal control. I'm just pressing a I'm just putting a button. So button is here, right? And on the click event of the button, if you want to change the text of this literal control dynamically, in that case you need to write literal one. So this is the name of our literal control, and its text property we are changing to okay, it's not required actually, convert dot to string, right? We can simply write date time dot now dot to string, and then I just want to show the time into a long format, right? So here, you know, if we execute this particular code, right, so literal control is there in our web page, and you know, here hello is there, but whenever you are clicking on the button, so you are getting time here. Okay, fine. Now suppose this is a lightweight control, right? Why we are calling a lightweight control? That is just because of, you know, the literal control is having very few properties, right? Visible property, then mode property. Mode already I have explored, right? And then one property, that is a text property, the important property. Okay, fine. Now we are just going to the source, and you just cut your literal control from here and you put it in a title tag, right? So now if you run this page into the Internet Explorer, right? Okay, so are you getting anything? See here in the title window, right? Title of the, you know, Internet Explorer, this is called tab title, right, where hello is written, right? And suppose if you click on the button, the title of this tab gets changed, right? And here, you know, the date and time will comes, right? So you know, this is a very lightweight control, so that you can put it into the title tag, right, of the head section of your web page. Okay, so this is a very light control you can put into the web page, as well as you can also put the literal control into the title. If you want to change the title dynamically, right, then you can use this literal control, right? Literal control doesn't have any kind of format property like back color, border color, fore color, etc, etc. Okay, fine. So now after literal control, these are the main two property, text and mode is there. The another property which is called a text box another control which is called a text box. So we'll see how can we use a text box into our web page. So we'll just move to we can say Visual Studio again. I'm just adding a new page, right? And here which is the first property, autocomplete type. Okay, fine. So autocomplete type we are discussing. I am having we can say first name of the person, and here we have placed the text box. Then I want to store the last name, so I'm taking another field called last name, and here again one more text box. Then suppose we also have to store a mobile number, right, and we are taking one more text box. Okay, so here I have taken few fields, right? Okay, and finally what we are doing is, here I am just placing the button so that the user, whenever the user is clicking on the button, user will be redirected to the another page, right? So I'm just adding a new page. This will be a default 3.aspx, and I just want to redirect the user from the page number 2 to page number 3. So obviously we know that here we need to write what? Response dot redirect to default 3.aspx, right? Okay. Now here I am just doing a same type of designing. So let first name, then a text box, then we have last name, right? Same type of designing we have, and here say mobile number is there, and we have placed one more text box. Now what we are doing is here, I am setting a autocomplete class. So for my first text box, because I just want to record the first name of the user, so here in the autocomplete type, right, I am just taking or selecting a class first name, right? Then here autocomplete type, I am just taking last name, and in this I am taking a mobile number, right? So there are the so many classes are there. Yes, cellular. Okay, and the same thing I am doing here, right? Same class I am just giving here. So autocomplete type, here first name is there, this is last name, so I am using another autocomplete type, that is a last name, right? And here cellular, right? So autocomplete type is cellular. We'll just go back to your second page, default 2.aspx, and run your web page, that is default 2.aspx. Now you just try to enter few data, right? See here a few data is already there, and that is actually recorded into my machines first name class. So let's suppose if you are writing say Kamesh, then the last name, right? And any mobile number we can say, right? You just click on the button. Okay, there is a problem. Problem is what? Default 3.
सर ASPX नहीं लिखा था, आपने गलत लिख दिया था.
Okay, fine.
A.
So here I think, okay, this has to be ASPX. Fine. So you just run it, and here suppose if I'm writing another name, right, and so a mobile number, click on the button. Now if you press K, right, all the name starts from the K will be appeared, right? Then suppose if you type A, then L, right, so automatically that gets filtered, right? You select this one. Then suppose here I am typing P, A, and this is something Patel, right? Then 2, actually what number we have written, 2423, you can select like this. Again we'll just go back to the second page, and we are trying to add one more name here. So chalo, we'll just write Ramesh, and right, and then here this is not the correct number of the Ramesh sir, okay, fine. So if you just click on the button, and now see here that name gets added, right? So whenever you are assigning a class, right, here in the first text box we have assigned which class? First name class. So that class, inside that whatever user is typing, that gets stored. but it is a machine specific. This detail will be stored into the client machine. So let's suppose here I am just writing my first name is Kamesh. It doesn't mean in my college PC, if there is a text box is there and you have given a reference to the first name class, so in that case that Kamesh comes automatically. But in my machine I have stored whatever thing into the first name class that I can get it back, right? So this is something, let Kamesh, then if you type say R, then Ramesh is there, then K, there are three options are there, right? Kamesh, Kalpesh. Then suppose if you type K A, then M, right, then automatically that Kalpesh will be disappeared. So this is a small functionality which is available into your ASPX we can say text box, and that is a property, of the text box, that is called autocomplete class. So here there are so many classes are given, right? So if you want to disable this, okay, you can go ahead with none. If you do none, then it will not show the name which is previously entered, right, into that particular text box. So then none or disable is there. Then cellular, company name, department, so there are so many classes are readily available for you, right? So whatever thing you are storing into a first name, that you can get it back whenever you have another text box with the same class. Fine. And one more thing, this will be stored into the client machine, right? So it will be stored into my machine itself. Acha, tamara machine ni andar, suppose if you are putting a text box and then you are applying first name and then you are expecting कि उनकी एक करी से ले कामेश सनु नाम आवसे, it won't happen, right? तमारे पहला you have to take a text box, you have to apply that autocomplete type feature, then you have to store the name, at least one or two name, then you go to the second page, and in the second page again the text box should have the same class, right? Then if you type a first letter, then that suggestions will be you can see into the pop-up window. Okay, fine. So this is something about first property, that is called auto complete type. Fine. Now second property, that is called access key. Okay, fine. So we have already page is designed. So here this particular text box, right? So here what I am doing is auto complete, that is done. एक second, which property we are discussing? That is access key, no? Okay, fine. So here in the first name I am giving a access key. So where is access key?
Sir, ID नीचे है.
Yes, here exactly. So access key property, here I am giving first name is there, so I am just typing F. This is the last name, right? Text box to accept the last name of the user. So here we are just entering L, and this is a mobile number. So here I am just giving M, right, as access key. You just run this particular page and see, right? Suppose if user is pressing Alt and L,
presence of,
just a minute. If you press Alt and F,